Yeah, it's a proper big show. I mean, there's no pyros yet, but we're working on that.
Welcome to the Here to Zen Podcast, your genre-free home for music, stories, and inspiration. Here, we celebrate sound in all its forms. From chart toppers to hidden gems, heavy riffs to chilled grooves, we believe great music has no boundaries. Our goal is simple, to share a love for every kind of music, connect with the artists who make it, and dive into the stories that shape their journeys. Whether you're here to discover something new, revisit an old favorite, or just vibe with the universal language of music, you're in the right place. This is more than a podcast. It's a community built on passion, curiosity, and the joy of sound. So plug in, turn it up, and let's find the Zen in every beat.
Good. All right, guys. Who's excited to come to Australia? Come on. Hands up
I'm
who's
excited.
excited.
Me.
All right. It's not long until you're here. So what's on the bucket list when you get here besides playing shows?
Um, I would like to see a koala. Um, I would like to. I'd like to improve on my surfing ability. Last time I was in Australia actually 10 years ago, just on holiday, and I tried surfing, and it's much harder than it looks. I think best, my highlight was I think I stood up for like 3 seconds and then fell off. But
That's
yeah,
3 seconds longer than me, and I'm Australian.
all right. Okay.
So
I'll
you're
take
winning.
that. Nice.
What about you, Bernth? Anything you want to do while you're here?
For me, it's the very first time, so I'm quite excited, and I'd love to see some of the wildlife that's not potentially killing me. So, as Charles said, koala and kangaroo is definitely on the list, and the reason for that is because we had a lot of fun editing the promo video for the tour, because we came across that one clip again where that guy is fighting the kangaroo,
Yep.
because holding the dog, it went pretty viral. I don't want to fight any animals. It's just you're very, very much known for the interesting wildlife. So
Yeah.
maybe we can see some of that. I think we might have one day either before or after the shows because we're coming from South Korea and from China. So this is actually the end of this leg of the tour for us. So I hope we have a little bit of time to explore some stuff. That would be
Sure.
great.
Now you're speaking about, a clip that went viral. Now you've sort of come together as part of the internet, so to speak. What is the craziest thing on the internet that you cannot believe went viral besides a dude punching a kangaroo?
Hmm.
That's a great question, actually. I mean, obviously, I guess our videos, we didn't really imagine, both of us. We talked about recently that we started like maybe 10 years or even longer than that ago, and you never imagine your own video going viral in any way. So that's always crazy
Yep.
because it's
Yeah.
never the one where you think, at least I don't know how it is for you, Charles, but it's never the one where I think this is the best video I've ever done and then it goes viral. It's always the one where you're like, maybe I shouldn't upload this. It's not that great. And then everyone loves it. How is that for you?
Yeah, the only one that I really knew was going to go viral was the spinning neck guitar.
Um,
Uh, so I played a guitar that has a cylindrical neck that rotates,
Yep.
and I knew that was going to get a lot of views because it's just the weirdest instrument I've ever played, and it kind of looks like a Gatling gun or something. Um, so I was pretty sure that one was going to get a lot of views, but there've definitely been videos where I think it's going to get great views and then it actually is terrible, and then the other way around where I almost don't post it and then it actually gets loads of views. So you can never really tell.
No, I understand completely. I interviewed another artist about a week ago, and unfortunately, I forget that Australian slang is a little different. Yeah, we call each other Aussies, and she thought I was talking about Ozzy Osbourne. So
Ah,
she
okay.
created a viral clip for me without even trying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Or then
Yeah.
on the other hand, I've done an interview where it's full of what we will call blabbermouth clickbait and zero.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you
okay,
never know.
yeah. Now, how did you guys come together as players, like and join forces?
Yeah. It's been a while actually. This thing's been what, 3 or 4 years now. It all started one day I opened up YouTube and I saw this angry Austrian guy had a video that said my problem with Charles Berthoud. And I thought, oh God, what have I done? I always try to be so nice on the internet, but someone's got a problem with me. And I opened it up and it's Bernth. And he was talking about a video he made where he used a pitch shifter to make his guitar sound like a bass because secretly he wants to be a bassist. And then in the comments, there were a lot of comments, people saying, "Oh, you should do something with Charles Berthoud." And Bernth decided that means that we have to have a battle. So he in this video he politely challenged me to a guitar versus bass battle, which we did, and it went pretty well. I won't say who the winner was, but I think everyone knows who the
Don't
winner
spoil it.
was. um, and then after that, we did some actual collabs, where we weren't
Yep.
fighting each other, just playing music together, and those went well. But we still hadn't met in real life, and finally, we met in real life in the most random place in the world, which is Reunion Island, which is an island near Madagascar, which I had never heard of prior to this, but
Hmm.
it's a very nice place. Um, we went there, we played a few shows. It went great. Everything clicked very naturally and easily. And we decided we've got to do a full tour of this. So we did the Europe tour in January, which was amazing. Loads of great fans came out. We sold out quite a few of the venues. Um, Everything just worked perfectly. And we called it Escape the Internet because most people know us from the
Yep.
internet. And now we're getting out into the real world, which not a lot of online musicians do still. So
Yeah.
we're hoping to kind of change that trend a bit.
Now, take me back for both of you to your earliest influences with your respective instruments. Who were they?
Um, for me, I think it's very similar for Charles. It was Metallica because I actually started listening to rock and metal through that very prominent new metal phase where you had bands like Korn and Slipknot and all of those acts blowing up. And I wasn't really attracted to any instrument in particular when I started listening when I was maybe 12, 11 or 12 years old. Just the whole thing
Yep.
was cool, the whole theatrics behind it. But when I got into Metallica's back catalog, at some point, I realized that the guitar riffs are kind of the center of the composition. That's kind of the coolest part, at least for
Yep.
a lot of Metallica songs. So I really wanted to learn riffs like Battery, for example, or Blackened. And that got me to beg my parents for a guitar, which took a while for them to get me one. I got a $200 PC Rich guitar or something, like the Warlock model with the
Yep.
the spikes and all that, and started learning Metallica riffs, and then later got into the solos, and then that kind of opened up a rabbit hole when it comes to lead guitar playing and solos and all of that stuff.
What about for
Yeah,
you, Charles?
it's kind of similar for me. Um, I did play piano when I was 7. I started out on classical piano, but that was mostly just because my parents made me do that. It wasn't really an independent decision at 7 years old to start playing classical piano. But at 11, I also stumbled across Metallica. And for me, it was kind of the opposite though, where for a long time, all I cared about were the solos.
Yep.
Um, so the solo in one was the first thing that really grabbed my attention and had that huge moment of inspiration where I realized I wanted to play rock and metal. But all my friends played either guitar or drums, so I thought it'd be different and play bass.
Hmm.
But yeah, when I would listen to Metallica songs, I would like sometimes I would listen to the whole song, or sometimes I would literally just skip to the guitar solo and just listen to that. Or the bass solos, like in Orion and Pulling Teeth and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I was very much interested in the instrumental side of Metallica, and then it expanded into everything else, like all the other rock and metal bands.
So I've got to ask, what do you both think of Sinanga?
I have a pretty fun opinion on that, I guess, because it was my first Metallica record.
Yep.
And with me, it did exactly what it was trying to do because I was a new metal kid. I was into down-tuned guitars, raw, angry production. So that actually hooked me because I was into Slipknot and Korn and all of that. And I really liked the record. I did not know what a snare drum is
Yep.
or what the production is, so I didn't hear any of that. And through that record, I got into the back catalog, and that was what um, changed my life quite a lot. But still, I think it's a flawed record, of course, but I have very, very nostalgic memories about it because that's how I discovered the band. And I actually liked a lot of the songs, but even as a kid, I also kind of felt like some of the songs are maybe a little bit too long on the record. But it's funny to kind of think back on how I listened to that music because I didn't know that the production is very different compared to a lot of other stuff, or that the
Hmm.
drums sound different, or that the guitars sound very raw and the vocals all kind of sound like one takes. Um, I think they tried to strategically do something back then, and I'm kind of proof that it worked as one of the new metal kids.
Yep. What about for you, Charles?
um, I quite like. I listen to some of the songs in the gym.
Hmm.
I like Frantic, Saint Anger. I really like the Unnamed Feeling. Um, Shoot Me Again's pretty good. There are some songs that I really don't like.
Invisible Kid.
Not, yeah, I like the first half of Invisible Kid, but then the kind of like Hetfield, his singing's pretty weird in the second half of that song. Yeah, so I like some of the songs, and the snare doesn't actually bother me that much, I've got to say. I think the snare kind of adds the like garage type sound they were going for.
Hmm.
So I don't actually mind the snare that much. I think it would sound horrible in a lot of other contexts, but I think in the context of that sound, it works fine for me. But there are just some songs that I really don't like, but then there are some that I do. So it's a mixed bag for me.
Great.
I
Now,
think
go
always in
ahead.
my hand is kind of a secret tip because most people don't make it until the end of
Yep.
that record. And I think that song is actually really great.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Bernd. I have a soft spot for the album, even if it sounds like someone's banging a garbage can for 70 minutes. I really love some of the songs. Um,
Yeah.
how are your shows going to work when you get down here? 'Cause it's not just going to be performance based. There's going to be a few added things. So explain to everyone checking us out today what's going to happen.
Yeah. So for regular ticket holders, it's going to be kind of not too far off of a normal show. There's going to be a lot of music played, but there's also going to be quite a lot of stuff that people have come to expect from our YouTube channels. So some funny elements. We both do a little bit of stand-up comedy here and there. There's going to be some challenges in between songs. So one of the big things, the great questions of our time is which is the superior instrument, bass or guitar? And we
Hmm.
still haven't, I mean, I know the answer, but not everyone's figured it out yet. So we're still having that heated debate live on stage at every show.
Yep.
Um, so there's challenges, there's battles, there's a very cool light show that we have. We've got an LED wall where there's all kinds of cool things going on. So for regular ticket holders, it is just like a kind of enhanced show experience. And then for VIP ticket holders, that's where you get like the full masterclass that we do before every single show. We go really deep into the techniques that we use to play our music, what effects we use, what equipment we have. And then there's also like a meet and greet section where people can ask us anything they want. We'll take photos together and just generally hang out. And yeah, that's kind of the more like masterclass educational side of things.
Okay, so the age-old debate over whether it's guitar or bass will still not be settled because it's clearly drums, and that's okay.
Oh,
Now, I want to ask what each one of you, you've got to have one favorite instrument being either a vintage or something you've purchased brand new recently. What is your favorite instrument currently?
I kind of have mine next to me. Can you just grab it? This is the Ibanez HR Giger signature. I don't know if you're familiar with the artist. He did like the design for the original Alien movies and is famous for the biomechanical art. And this one is actually covered in a zinc plate, so this is real metal. And the design is etched into the body plate, so it's not just like a graphic print or something. You can really feel it, which is very, very cool. And I think I got it used for maybe $2,000 or $3,000, and now you see it for up to 15,000 or something like that, which is pretty crazy because there are only around 250 of those. And Hans Zimmer, the movie composer, has one of them, and he plays them live, which is pretty funny. And I have one of them, and just has a lot of cool details. Like on the back plate, you have the alien and I guess his logo, and also the headstock is also engraved. So it's a very detailed instrument, and it has those mirrored fretboard inlays. It's really a mirror, which is
Wow.
pretty crazy. So I haven't played this guitar live at all because I'm a bit scared of just forgetting it somewhere or
Yep.
something. And it was also, I think, relatively heavily played because it's oxidizing. It looks like it was underwater or something. I didn't put this one underwater, some of my other guitars. So this is one of those instruments that remains at home.
Yep.
And the other one would be that's on this side next to me. I can't show it yet. That's my Ibanez signature guitar that's coming out in September, which will also be great. I think Charles's favorite instruments are probably also his signature basses, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got my signature here. So this is my signature. It's Schecter CB4, and it's my current favorite bass. It does everything I want it to. It's got a nice thin neck, so I can play fast more easily. You can get up to the 24th fret easily because it's got a very deep cutaway, and it's just got really nice pickups, which sound deep and crisp, which is perfect for slap. And it's pretty light too, which not all basses are that light. And then if I've got the 6-string version of my signature too, and actually in a couple of weeks we're releasing the 5-string version. So maybe when this interview comes out, I'm not sure when it's coming out, but it might be out at that point.
Great. And what are you guys both listening to at the moment? What favorite artists have you got?
So for me, I'm not really listening to super complex stuff in the last couple of years because a lot of people assume if you make music with a lot of notes and crazy techniques and all of that this is all that you listen to. For me, it's kind of the opposite, really.
Yep.
I like the new wave of metal right now where, some people are a bit angry at those bands because sounds a bit more commercial, so to say, and essentially those are really good pop songs, kind of, that usually have one heavy part in them.
Yep.
But for me, I really tend to appreciate good and very catchy songwriting in those last couple of years. So I like what Bad Omens are doing, for example, because those are just really, really great songs, not necessarily super heavy or very complicated or something. I also like Sleep Token stuff. A lot of people hate it, but I think it's very original to be a quote-unquote metal band, but have like reggaeton beats and super low tuned 8-string guitars, but they're only playing. It's an 8-minute song, and there's only one breakdown at the end, and they're not even playing in the. So I like that kind of more simplistic stuff to listen to, because it calms me down a little bit. But the one record that's a little bit more virtuosic that I've been listening to over and over again recently is the Winter Sun record. I don't know if you've listened to that one. I'd have to check how's the first one called. It's literally just called Winter Sun. From 2004. That one has a lot of great guitar parts in it. The lead guitar player is now playing for Megadeth, which is a pretty good fit for him.
Nice. You, Charles?
Yeah. I've been kind of, there's like two themes of what I've been listening to recently. One theme is just rediscovering or like just going back to some of the stuff that I grew up listening to, like Linkin Park and Muse, but checking out their new albums. I just saw Linkin Park actually a couple of weeks ago in Boston, and they've both those bands have been releasing some good stuff recently. And then the other like side of what I've been listening to are just like the modern virtuosos, people like Pliny, Marcin, Ichika, Intervals, Animals as Leaders, all of the types of people that people probably expect me to listen to. But at the end of the day, I do listen to everything. I listen to quite a bit of classical music too. Sometimes I listen to Eminem.
Nice. Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's good, I like it. I don't really mind too much about the genre.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. You're going to be here really soon. So what do you want to let all of your Australian friends know before I let you go?
I'd like to thank everyone who already got a ticket, because it's pretty surreal for me to go on tour now in China and South Korea and then in Australia as well, because I've never been to any of those places, and it's always nicer to actually do something there and to connect with people and not just visit and go on vacation. And everyone who's currently thinking about getting one, I'd say they won't regret it if they join the show, because we've had a lot of musicians actually bringing their, because a lot of guitar players brought their wives and girlfriends to the show, and they actually really liked it, because it's not just like two people on a chair playing as many notes as possible. It's an entertaining show. So I hope to see a lot of people there and to maybe come back in the future as well with a bigger tour package. And what do you think, Charles?
Yeah, I agree with all of that. And I would just say, yeah, it's a proper big show. I mean, there's no pyros yet, but we're working on that. Right. But, you know, it's not just playing the songs back to back. Like, there's a lot that goes into this show, and it's really like a enhanced experience that you definitely can't get just from watching our YouTube channels. So I really hope that anyone who's seen and enjoyed our videos will come out and see the insanity of the live performance.
Nice. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for your time. We look forward to seeing you really, really soon. So enjoy your time here. Find a koala. Don't punch a kangaroo.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. See you guys.
See you soon.
Thanks
you very
so
much.
Bye.
That's a wrap on this episode of the Here to Zen podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We truly appreciate every single one of you who listens, shares, and supports what we do. This podcast is all about celebrating music in all its forms, and it wouldn't mean anything without this amazing community around it. If you enjoyed today's episode, we'd love it if you could take a moment to rate and review us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening right now. It really helps us reach more music fans and keep the conversation going. And don't forget, you can be part of our online community too. Join the conversation on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. We'd love to hear your thoughts, your favorite tracks, or even what music means to you. This isn't just our podcast, it's yours too. From all of us here at Here to Zen, thank you again for being part of the journey.
We appreciate your support more than words can say. Until next time, keep listening, keep sharing, and keep finding the Zen in every beat.